of bribery in Nigeria released by the National Bureau of Statistics shows that almost a third of Nigerian citizens pay bribes when in contact with public officials. However, it's not just the public sector that's involved, because even administrators of academic institutions have contributed to the corruption figures. So once again, fighting corruption tops national discourse in Nigeria at this time. And it's our big story for this episode. You're welcome. I'm Ini John Mekwa. The United Nations Office on Drug and Crime, the UNODC, has lent support to the anti-corruption project in Nigeria, and in conjunction with all major anti-corruption agencies in the country, as well as the National Technical Committee, composed of a subset of Action Aid Nigeria, the Clean Foundation, and NBS, as implementing partner, have carried out a survey on the spread of the menace in the various sectors operating in the country. These concerned organizations, using a randomly selected household member and a section on attitudes and opinions on corruption, worked with questionnaires addressing experiences with public services and in particular experiences of bribery. The subsequent part of the questionnaire deals with bribery in the private sector, corruption in employment, and the awareness of and opinions about specific anti-corruption agencies. The survey covered between 779 and 900 interviews in each of the states between June 2015 and May 2016. And the result is that an estimated 400 billion naira was given out as bribe in this period. By implication, bribe payers spend an eighth of their salary on bribes, and an average paid as cash bribe in the country was approximately 5,300. 46.4% of Nigerian citizens have had bribery contact with police officers, 33% with prosecutors, and 31.5% with judges and magistrates. The NBS estimated the average bribe paid to custom officers at over 88,000 naira, judges and magistrates over 18,000 naira, while prosecutors received an average of 10,000 naira as bribes from Nigerians.
This report is on bribery between the public sector and the citizens. We are not talking about the large-scale corruption cases that, were just mentioned, and we are not talking about, the response that maybe agencies are giving. When we look at the report, we very clearly see that some action have to be taken to increase the oversight in the public sectors so that corruption doesn't happen. We also have to increase the sense of integrity among the public officials, also to prevent that corruption does not happen. Very often we talk about better technological solutions such as e-governance, so that we have cashless payments, which can also reduce the interface between the public servant and the citizen, and so that there is no opportunity to pay the cash. But I think the most important thing is the change of the mindset. Many institutions already have codes of conduct that they could be implementing. They have them, but very often they do not implement them. So it is up to the institutions to make sure that these code of conducts are also implemented, and those who don't implement it, that they also receive some disciplinary measure. I also think that mass campaigns, education for the youth or for the entire population is very important to understand the importance of accountability and transparency in general and in public systems, so that we prepare the future generations also for a corruption-free Nigeria. And we have worked in that direction, preparing anti-corruption prevention, corruption prevention manuals, for example, for the academy. Nigeria has very strong institutions. The legal frameworks are there, the institutional frameworks are there. So I think it's really a question to go together through the findings of the report and with each institution to decide what is the best way forward.
In the private sector, employees of insurance companies, teachers in private schools, and doctors in private hospitals have highest bribe prevalence in Nigeria. 6.0% of Nigerians have come in contact with bribe-seeking employees of insurance companies, 3.7% with doctors, and 5.9% with teachers in private schools.
If a mother can pay for her child to pass through the university, then there's a problem. If a father can pay for his son to graduate from university or to gain admission to a university, there's a problem. And the child knows that, my daddy don't settle them. What do you think that child will do tomorrow? It's normal. It's fine. It's well. It's good. Corruption has gotten deep into everyone, and we are growing like that. Nobody wants to know how people make money anymore. Nobody wants to know. He's rich. He lives in Magodo. Whether he's a killer, you don't know. Whether he's a kidnapper, you don't know. He lives in Chevron. Whether he's a killer, you don't know. Whether he's an armed robber, you don't know. Nobody cares to know. A lot of people only show money. They go to clubs, go to big places, spend money, lavish money. At the end of the day, people celebrate them. Nobody wants to care on how they made this money.
The figures also show that young Nigerians have the highest prevalence of bribery in the country, as 36.4% Nigerian population aged between 25 and 34 years are the people with the highest bribery prevalence.
Do you know that today our young people, our youth, they celebrate fraud? You don't hammer. Congrats, make you go shout, go pump champagne. And it is a thing of pride. People no longer shy away from that. People no longer do it with shame. Rather, they do it with pride. My maga don't pay, and people are celebrating. Musicians are even singing, maga don't pay, and people are happy. They are celebrating. That is how bad our system has become. I run one company and other companies. But this major company, I have discovered that everyone who comes to look for a job does not really want a job. Or, I put it this way, most of the people that want to be employed are not just looking for employment, rather they are looking for fast money, quick money. They want to alter the system of the company to be able to make sales of properties, collect the money somehow and put in their personal accounts. And this is the kind of people that we are breeding today. I have sacked so many people for collecting money from customers without remitting the funds to the company. I have arrested and solved. In fact, some I had to go and bail them by myself. Okay, come out. Don't do this again. Don't do that again. And if it is just in this system, the best way, I think, is for morality to be taught again in schools.